Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Sports Vault Jersey. Joe Archino back here. And after last night, the Golden State Warriors are the fastest team in NBA history to 50 wins. Now, if you've listened to me before, you know that I've really had the same solid stance on the Warriors all season. And I think most of us really do. Who's going to stop this team from winning another title this season? I think when you look at everything realistically, we've got a good feel for who every team is at this point. And if you look at the NBA playoffs and you look at the 7 games in a series, who's going to realistically beat them? I don't think anybody will, but that is a different conversation for a different day. What the task at hand is about why Golden State is so good. They obviously, with 50 wins, are the fastest ever to do it, says something remarkable about them. And the biggest thing and the biggest story that they've been compared to all year long has been the 95-96 Bulls, the team that won 72-10, the best record in NBA history. Still one of those marks that just makes you just your jaw drop every time you hear. But they did win 50 games faster than that 95-96 Bulls team did. It took them 56 games to do it, where it only took Golden State 55 games to do it. So they have been on a historic pace all season, and they continue that with their 50th win of the season, defeating the Atlanta Hawks last night 102-92. And they were up 19 at halftime, and Atlanta really battled back and made that a game, tied the game at one point in the fourth quarter, and it was a real battle. But the thing that you really like to see, and I think the ultimate difference, and we're obviously going to be talking a lot about Cleveland and Golden State and trying to compare the two, because we all kind of think those are the two teams who will be back in the finals, and I think realistically that is what is going to happen. But where Golden State wins is in showing the traits of a champion, the qualities of being a championship team. Stephen Curry talked about that after the game, where he said, it wasn't pretty. We let that lead get away from us, but we showed the championship qualities at the end of the game when it mattered most, and that couldn't be more true. That is exactly why Golden State's going to win the title again this season, because with a team like Cleveland, they destroy Oklahoma City on Sunday, just hand them their biggest loss at home this season, and then they turn around on Monday and they lose to the Pistons, and they don't show championship qualities. Golden State, it doesn't matter when it is. Sure, they've lost a couple games. They had a bad loss to the Trailblazers the other day. Damian Lillard dropped 51 points. But they always come back and they overall show the consistency of a championship quality and championship traits. That really, you can't put enough stock into how much that matters and how much that means when you're doing something consistently. Cleveland has not been as consistent as Golden State is, and they've been really helped out by the fact that there's just really not other ample competition in the Eastern Conference. The Eastern Conference has got good teams like Toronto, good teams like Boston, but nobody who can match them competitively in a real playoff scenario, where Golden State really could have some competition from Oklahoma City and San Antonio. Still don't think those two teams would beat them, but they would definitely have a harder path to the finals than the Cleveland Cavaliers would. But we kind of stay on last night's game, and it's one of those things where, again, you look at a lot of these teams, you look at the Golden States and you look at the Clevelands, and the things that you're trying to separate them between is which one of them has the better championship qualities. And I don't think there's any question that Golden State has those championship qualities better than anyone else. Their ball movement is tremendous. The two things that ultimately win more than anything else in the NBA, it's no surprise. It's defense and ball movement. The San Antonio Spurs for so long were the best team at both of those things. Now, Golden State's not going to do anything remarkable on the defensive end. That's just not the way that they play, but they compensate for that with their speed and with their ball movement and just with their court presence. It's such a smart basketball team. If somebody takes a shot at the basket, somebody's always chasing that ball. Somebody's always moving on the floor. In that loss to Detroit just last night, Cleveland, all people do are just standing around, dribble to the basket, taking shots. There's not enough movement moving around on the court, and the court presence for the players is just not as good. The floor awareness is huge, and it comes into play more than any other time when you get to the playoffs. And Golden State's floor awareness, I really think you saw them more than any other game when they defeated Oklahoma City for the first time this season. The first time both of them have played this season was the weekend of the Super Bowl, and you look at that game, and they won that game at the end, and it was competitive really through and through because of their floor awareness, because guys were constantly in the right places at the right times, because they understand the game, they understand their role, and they know where they have to be because of those things. Those traits and those qualities really are what a championship pedigree needs to be, and I think all of them really add up to why Golden State's going to win the title once again this season. And it's one of those things where I think we all win as fans getting a rematch of last year, especially if Kyrie and Kevin Love are healthy, because we all kind of know if they were healthy last season, that could have looked much different than it was, and it still was competitive. But right now we are seeing stark differences between Cleveland and between Golden State, and they really come down to the basic principles of the game, and that's floor awareness, that's ball movement. Cleveland, it was not on their side in the loss to the Pistons, and the biggest thing I think that separates them from Golden State at this time is, Golden State always is they follow up great wins with wins. It's business as usual for them, where for the Cleveland Cavaliers, that's not the case. They have a great win against Oklahoma City, and they followed up with a very disappointing loss and just overall disappointing performance against the Detroit Pistons. That's something that separates Golden State from anyone else. They adjust, they show consistency, they have ball movement, they have the best floor awareness in the game, and it's one of those reasons, if you're just looking for more qualities of why they will win the title again this season, I think the win against Atlanta is just another one, and Stephen Curry said it right, they showed championship qualities en route to that win, and that's something that he has done all season, and it's something his team has done all season. And until we see what happens at the end of the day, Jersey Joe Archino here with the Sports Vault. You can follow me on Twitter at Joe Archino, on Instagram, Jersey_Joe_Archino, and I'll see everybody next time.